Hey everybody, Dave Whitmarsh, Best Practice in HR. We have another overseas guest today in our interviewing senior executives that service the HR space. And we have Adriana from Renaissance. Now, I have to tell you that she says it way better than I do with her Italian slash Portuguese accent. So um, tell us, tell us first of all, welcome, and tell us a bit about your company and give yourself a little introduction here.
Hello, David. I'm very happy to be here today. And yes, my name is Adriana. I'm Italian. And 4 years ago, we decided actually to move to the south of Spain, looking for the sunshine. And I've been working for 25 years in the corporate environment in the US, primarily in the US. And 4 years ago, we decided actually to leave and together with my husband to open a leadership company, coaching company called Renaissance. And as the name say, we are helping people to reburn from the inside out. We really, our deep belief is that the leadership, the authenticity is all inside of us. We just need to be able to live it day after day outside. So yes, the company is focused above all in helping a team or individual to find their authentic leadership.
Yeah, and I know we had a little pre-conversation, and often you said that you use this strength finders, right, the Gallup tool to help identify some of these traits in people.
Yes, that's correct. We really believe that the talents is part of what we call our wings, our inner power. And so strength finders always help in a very, very good way to accelerate the process to really understand which are the uniqueness of people. And we are all born with talent, so it's so much more efficient to work on those and expand those instead of forcing something that doesn't come natural to us.
Yeah, right. And so when you work with individuals or companies, what do you prefer? What gives you more passion?
Well, the passion is always to find people that are eager for something more. I have a very clear belief. We spend so many hours on a company, and if we can almost maximize the company to develop ourselves also as human being, then it's really a win-win situation. And this is what I love doing. I love people that are eager for something more, and the something more can be maybe they come because they would like to have a promotion, they feel frustrated because they feel stuck in a certain position, but the reality maybe is just that they need to let go something, and that something can be maybe the belief that either they are not enough, or they believe that the environment doesn't allow them to grow, or they believe anything that they brought in the backpack, I like to say, and in some way prevent them to use their inner power. And sometimes I tell our clients this. You remember, like when they used to ask Michelangelo Buonarroti, how do you build this beautiful statue? And he used to say, like, it's very simple. I take a piece of marble and I get rid of everything that is not an angel and let the angel free. And this is a bit our concept. Our concept is like, we are not really doing that much. We are just helping people to let go of everything that prevents them to really use their inner power and let their authenticity, leadership, power, or wings, as we like to say, free. And when they do that, then the company become a stage for them to fly, a stage for them to do whatever that is really important for them. It's almost if the company start working for them and not vice versa.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And truthfully, when you when you help individuals and they just bring it back to their company, and ultimately, what's the expression, right? High tide raises all boats, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And David, we like to work with visionary leaders because, there are sometimes some leaders that hire, I call them wild horses, people that have a lot of potentiality, but then they want to put them in a box because they are afraid of their power, they are afraid of their creativity, they are afraid of not being within the line. But then, then it's really a wasting of energy. So we want to work with those leaders that are not afraid to hire these very creative people, innovative, and so on, and that they want them to find their authenticity, to find their leadership, to find their way into the company of feeling like, I would say, on purpose, because I really believe that at the end, people purpose drive company growth. So those visionary leaders that understand that, then they can really have a company that attract also the best talent in the field.
Mm-hmm. So in your 25 years of being in the corporate world, obviously, this is kind of a leading question, but that's a tremendous amount of experience to bring into a practice. And so, have you found that you've drawn from that experience much, or do you work more with the individuals and just help them, find their goals or their passion?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think I could never do what I'm doing now if I didn't have that experience. First, that when people they come to me, to us with the problematic, most of the time I know it because I felt it on my skin. Maybe there are women that they say I talk, but people they don't listen to me. Or maybe there are some other guys that come and say, you see, everyone is growing in the company, I feel so stuck. Or maybe some other people that are born out. So I think that in 25 years, I really felt so many of these things. So first of all, the empathy of knowing what they are talking about. And the other thing is that, frankly speaking, my first probably 15 years in the corporate environment, I worked for a long time in Nike. I used to work from the outside in. I tried actually to find a way to be a certain person, to sometimes to compete with other people, or to try to find what I was missing. After I always say I met an angel that was this executive coach that was really Nike supported me with. And after this journey with her, I really understood that there was another way. And the other way was really to see the company from a different perspective. And the perspective was from the inside out. So instead of looking outside what I was missing, I started to look inside. And from that moment, I had incredible, really success, both from a company point of view, because I was promoted from one position to the other. At the end, I ended up as general manager for tennis and golf for Nike in the US, but also internally, because I deeply felt fulfilled of helping people at the end to find their own potentiality, because at the end, that was what I really enjoyed the most.
And so, are most your customers and your engagements, are they in the U.S. because that's where your history is from, or have you carved out a little niche in Southern Europe?
Yeah, I have to say it's half and half. Half is in Europe, not in Spain, but in other yes, in Holland, in Germany. So probably half is in Europe and half is in the US. But this company, they are so big international, so I might work maybe with a company in the US that has also some branches in Europe.
Mm-hmm. And how many languages do you speak?
I speak in English and Italian, and understand Spanish, and I speak a bit of French, but primarily I work in English.
Yeah, well, so there you go. So anybody that's listening that has some people that might be a good fit in Europe, and you want to get them some help, then we know somebody that can help in multiple languages if your current provider doesn't have that. So
Thank you very much. And you know what? The funny thing is that we doesn't have any client in Italy, and it's funny because I think I've never really coached in Italian, and that is my language. And I think I have the dream that at one point I'm almost feeling emotional by saying that. That means that it's really true. That is my guidance to understand that something is true. I really believe I would love one time to maybe bring some of the knowledge that I got in abroad, also in Italy, because I think that in Italy most of us grew up with the mentality of the culture. It's very Catholic, of keeping your space, don't show up too much, be humble, and but frankly speaking, be humble, and it doesn't really serve anybody in the sense of not really sharing your talent, not sharing your leadership and authenticity. So I think that my dream is at one point really to also work in some way, maybe with some podcasts in Italy.
yeah, it really is amazing. You know, when you look at some instances, right? Most people have a teacher or a professor or something that took an interest in them and sort of at a certain time in their life that really helped them, you know, along the way, you know, to identify their career path. Well, the same goes for coaches, right? That sometimes business people, you know, just don't feel sometimes business people just don't feel like they've got the you know the direction that they want to go until they have some coaching and sort of set themselves up with a structure that works for them based off of some of their talents, which you often can't identify because you get hired to do a job and this is the job and that's the role. And so it just doesn't allow you to become your full potential as a person, right? Inside an organization. So often having a coach really can help bring that out. And you know, we all talk about how rewarding it is to have a job that we love and we get to use our talents, and really that's what a coach can help you do, you know, if it's done right.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's really well said. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't even need to change job in order to find that drive again. Sometimes you can do it by staying in that job, letting go something that is preventing you to really maximize your talent, and then you can really look for your next things. Because otherwise, what happens most of the time, you change job because you think that it was an old job to stop you to really succeed, and then you find the exactly same things in the new role. So absolutely, I mean, the more we can maximize the environment we are in with what we have, and the sooner actually we can evolve.
Yeah. That's a good point, right? It's a sooner than later. You know, and sometimes it's so easy to push stuff off in general, but if you know, if you realize that you're at a crux in your career development, you know, it's probably a good thing just to get somebody on your side that can help you hit the next rung of the ladder, right? And it's as simple as that. So
exactly. But you know, most of the people, and I was one of that, we've not been taught to really ask for help. You know, because asking for help, it's like weaknesses. I really believe that asking for help, it's leadership, because you you want to maximize your time, you want to maximize also the talent of somebody else, and you ask for help for something that can help you to accelerate whatever evolution you want to have.
Yeah, 100%. So what would you know, what's an ideal engagement or customer, or how does somebody identify that, that they may be in need or fit, so sort of, I guess I'll let you run for a bit here, but tell us who you generally like to work with, and then tell us, what somebody inside an organization might be going through that would be a good fit for a conversation.
Yeah. So I think that on a high level, it can be either an individual that that has been in the company for a long time and maybe feel a bit stuck, feel that inside of him or her there is something more to offer, and he doesn't really know how to move on. Sometimes people, they come with this, and those are usually things that we can in general do very easy. I don't tend to have clients for a very long time. Above all, if people come with very specific goal they want to achieve. Or the other thing that we enjoy really a lot, it's really working with a leader that has maybe a big organization, a big team, and then we can work with the leadership team maybe, but also with the entire team by doing different things. Maybe with the leadership team, we can do some workshop and some one-on-one. With the broader team, we can do some inspirational speeches. But what we really love is to really support visionary leader to shift culture. Another thing that we are very good at, and we are really very, very excited to work with leaders that want really to elevate integration among diversities. And diversity, it doesn't need to be different culture. It can even be different ages. So helping people to maximize the interaction between like young leaders or young people and older people. And that is something that it's priceless. When you can really maximize the wisdom of people maybe that have been working for the company for a long time, and this creativity, this energy of these young people coming in. Because otherwise, if the people, they keep on looking at each other like you are different than me, you are arrogant, or you don't want to move on and progress, then it's really a losing situation for everyone.
Interesting. Yeah, actually, that's a good way to maybe even look at things. Just pick something out that you said, right, about some diversity, right? Well, maybe even just looking at, I'm not talking about ethnic diversity, but just organizational diversity. So maybe your organization has, it's heavy in either X's or Gen Xers or Gen Ys or millennials, and you feel there's a bit of a communication issue, right? So that would be something that you could pull in and do some workshops, some structure around that to help get the communications at least on the same level.
Yes, because sometimes people, they call us, because the communication is not very good, so we work on crucial conversation and so on. But then, because usually we work with the group and also with the one-on-one, we can unveil then other things that maybe they have not seen yet. And so at the end, to unlock the potential of a team or the individual. The thing that we usually do is really to work from an individual point of view. So even if it is the leader to hire us, we are by the side of the individual. We really believe of the transformation of the shifting culture from the bottom up. We really believe that is a way. We work quite a lot with sport companies, so they are very very active, very dynamic company, and very also flat environment sometimes. And I think that the very big change, they happen when they are really felt from everyone. And so, yeah.
Well, that's cool. So is there anything else that you'd sort of like to cover, or well, and by the way, for anybody that's listening, I always say this, I know. Adriana's going to give me a list of bios, where you can go to check out her company and her stuff and how, her preferred method. So she'll send that over to me and I'll copy and paste it so I don't make any mistakes. But then, and so that'll be, below anything that you're watching this on in the description. And I'll leave it. Is there any other areas or trends or things that you're seeing that you'd like to talk about?
But another thing that we started actually to work on, it's also with athletes, because of coming from the sport environment. We really started also to work with some athletes that are close to end their professional career and want to figure it out what to do with the rest of their life. And so what we do with this, we do some like 3 days full immersion retreat, and then we follow them for some coaching to help them to find the drive again in this last part of their career, and then to really figure it out what they want to do with the rest of their life. Yeah.
No, that'd be fun, actually. That would be an interesting project because I imagine a lot of people that participate on an individual sport have a completely different mindset that they need to transform.
Exactly.
Instead of like, I'm going to crush everybody, they're like, okay, how am I going to team up with these people, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, interesting.
So yeah, that is something else that we are working on. But yeah, I think that what I'm really passionate about is really when we can work with like leaders and do the work that is not just once a time workshop and that's it. But if we can really take the team and the organization for like almost like 1 year to do really some transformation. From an individual point of view and from the team dynamic point of view. That is really where we have much success and also fulfillment.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it was great speaking with you.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm jealous as we have a snowstorm coming in where I'm at, and it's windy and gusty and freezing, and you're probably complaining because it's getting cool for you, but I think I would take your cool right now.
I can imagine. No, I'm feeling very, very lucky to work from here, because I always say the first thing is to fill your cup with what gives you energy, and we live in an energetic place. So yes. Now, David, thank you very much for this time. It was really nice.
Well, no, it was my pleasure. It's great meeting you. And anybody, if this is of interest, please reach out and have a conversation and see if Adriana and her husband would be a good fit for you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.